Luka and the Lakers. I mean, this is a trade that happened days ago, but it totally shook up the NBA world. And Cassidy on Twitter, I think you wrote, "I'm aghast." I'm just wondering, where were you and what happened?
I mean, okay, so um I was at home and it was like my first night really at home to be with my husband, kind of like watch a show, throw something on. We just watched the Lakers game and we're like, all right, let's put on a show. Let's put our phones away. Um,
Mm,
like let's dedicate some time together. And
right.
then start the show, and of course he falls asleep because anyone in marriage understands that is
Right.
what happened. So I'm like, all right, let
Totally.
me look at my phone. Okay, we're gonna have to rewatch this show. And I'm looking, and then I did what everybody else did. I get this is not true, and I
Yeah.
said it out loud, and my husband went, what are you talking about? I go, you know, Luka is going to the Lakers for Anthony Davis. He goes, that's not true, and then he falls back asleep. It's just like, yeah, shock and awe, as Luka said today in his press conference. Shocking. Yeah, I just, I'm trying to think, like, everyone says that this is the most shocking trade in NBA history. I'm thinking back to what was another time I had such a crazy reaction to a move, and I think it was KD to the Warriors, but
Right.
that was free agency. That's really the only thing I can compare it to in terms of just not really believing it. And yeah, I mean, I think we all have the same story, right?
Yes, I was at the Garden in the press room, and actually, Knicks had played the Lakers that night, and so all the Laker beat reporters were in there with us,
Oh wow,
and
yeah.
you can imagine the sounds and the reactions that were coming from across the room initially, and a few minutes thereafter, and it was, yeah, still stunning. I still think, I mean, look, we'll see how it all plays out, but I just talking to people around the league, they don't understand the return. They don't understand the return of Anthony Davis, Max Christie, future first. But I actually think that Mavericks team is going to be really good if
Oh
everybody's
yeah.
healthy. And so
Do you
maybe
feel like
that'll,
people are disrespecting AD right now?
yes. And I don't know if it's AD as much as like the lack of draft picks. Because, you look at
Yeah,
here in
they
New
had
York,
two. They
the
had two first. That was what the strange thing was, right?
Yeah, yeah. And like, because here in New York, Mikal Bridges, 5 first rounders, and
Right.
so, you look at these other deals. I think KD was 4 when he got traded to Phoenix, and so you would just think Luka is going to give you a boatload of picks. I actually, I heard one team in the aftermath of it was going to do 4 and a pretty good young player, and they were surprised that they didn't get a shot there, as I'm
Yeah,
sure
all the teams were,
28 other
right?
teams. Yeah,
Everyone's mad that they
yeah,
didn't get a shot at Luka because we're talking about, a top three guy in his prime. Um, with Even with all of the concerns that have been put out, like you you still go for that.
yeah.
He just went to the finals. Was in the Western Conference Finals twice. He's only 25, about to be 26. Is 5, all NBAs. Like what? I mean, we've done all this the last 2 days, and
Right.
Lucas said himself, like these last 2 days have felt like a month, and they have, because how many times can you say this is crazy to see someone in their prime? But to your point, AD, Kyrie, um, Gaffer, PJ
After,
Washington, like
yep.
that team probably will have more success now, unless the Lakers can fill the holes that obviously they have in their lineup right now.
Hmm.
And and we'll see if they can do that. Clearly, the big hole is in the middle, which you have one of the best two-way big men players in Anthony Davis being traded. So they as Rob Pelinka said in the press conference, they have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, and you're not going to fill that hole, right? You're just going to hope to get the best player available, and that's kind of where it hits the Knicks a little bit, because the Knicks have been canvassing, touching base with teams on backup fives, including Jonas Valanciunas. And now you throw the Lakers into that market, and they have to be aggressive in that market. They have to go and get somebody. So
the fact that they still have that first round pick, you know?
Yep. So it adds competition for the Knicks in that market. I think Denver is going to continue to poke around the backup five market. So there are teams in there that are going to be calling the Washingtons of the world. Also, the Knicks had touched base on Daniel Theis. And so these guys, there's going to be competition for these guys. And LA is going to win one of them because they have to. So it's going to be interesting to see how that does impact things here locally. And I want to know, Cassidy, because it kind of went under the radar because of the Anthony Davis stuff. But Giannis said, he was talking about European stars. He said, I want Jokic to the Knicks. I want all the Europeans to go to all the big markets. This is my dream.
Messy. Don't you love how he said, I want Jokic to go to the Knicks?
I mean, he certainly raised some.
That was an easy one to like slot in there because there's no way that's going to happen. But, maybe. Look. What he's playing a troll. It's he's on team European, if you will, and so he loves the takeover. And so I thought it was a classic line. Like you got all these guys reacting. This is an interesting shift. I mean, we have been in such a player. I don't want to say entitlement. Player
empowerment, maybe.
Yes, there we go. I mean, really, it's entitlement, but but like, this was a shock to the system. Letting players know that, it's. I think for both the Mavericks sending a message that they were just done with however Luka was conducting business as a Dallas Maverick, whether or not you believe it was the smart thing.
Right.
The people who make the decisions there were done. And they made that move, and they understand making this move is not just a critical decision for the Dallas Mavericks, but for their careers too. I don't think Nico Harrison, thought trading Luka was just going to be like, okay, let's just get rid of our, global superstar at 25 years old, and not know, the high risk, high reward capabilities here.
And the reaction, I'm sure he knew what was coming in terms of that fan base because of who you're moving. And so,
I don't know if he expected coffins outside of America.
Maybe not.
But, it was a bold move. It was a bold move. And if it pays off for him and they end up, making a title run, this is a team that we keep hearing has had OKC's number a bit, Is Dallas afraid of the Thunder now with Anthony Davis and Kyrie and what that matchup, what that 2-man game could be like? We don't know. We don't know what the Mavericks are going to look like. We don't know what the Lakers are going to look like. We just know that Luka's going to be there for a little bit. Now, people saying he's going to be there for the next 15 years. I've had a lot of conversations with Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic is in the same pool as Nikola Jokic. He wants to play and he loves to play, but he's not going to be on the LeBron James playing till I'm 40 situation. Okay. but maybe LeBron could get him in proper shape where he can play a nice 10 more years.
Yeah, I'm interested to see that dynamic. And Cassidy, to your point about this thing being so quiet, I'll just say, without being too vague, like a significant stakeholder in this trade, in the aftermath of it, wasn't even sure about LeBron and how he, his reaction was going to be, what he was going to do, what he wasn't going to do. And this is a person who, in a normal trade where things are discussed ahead of time, he would have known. But this was such a midnight shock that, this person was not even sure where LeBron would go. So, it was
crazy. The stage on Saturday night was crazy, too. To, be at MSG, the reporting late that AD wasn't even there. And then his wonderful post-game interview with Lisa Salters, where he's singing AD's praises. It played out almost like a movie. And there was also moments like I have no inside information. I don't know what LeBron's going to do, but I was watching that game and it just looked like he was really soaking in playing at MSG and thinking like, my times under these lights are winding down. Like I don't know if I was reading into that, but as a viewer, as someone who loves the NBA, that's how I was viewing it as a fan, and it was pure cinema. Now at the expense of the Knicks, of course, but at the same time, it's like, it was pretty surreal thinking about that. And like you said, all those Lakers reporters in the Knicks media room afterwards, and then this trade comes about. It's been a crazy few days. Take that, Super Bowl. That's all I'm trying to say. We'll steal our thunder on Christmas Day. We'll steal your thunder on Media Day.
I'll give it right back to you.